Too Smart for This. I am your host, Alexis Barber, and today's episode is really exciting for me because this was our most loved episode, period, in 2021, and I'm excited to repeat it again for you for 2022. But in this week's episode of Too Smart for This, we are going to dive into how to create a vision board for 2023. So I am someone who loves manifestation and visualizing my future, and it's really helped me make massive leaps and bounds over the last few years. And I have some new systems that I'm applying to my creation of a vision board this year, and I wanted to jump into those with you guys. So before we get started, a little bit about my background. If you have never listened to the show before or watched the show before, because we are on YouTube as well, so go check us out. I am 23 years old, about to turn 24 this week actually, and I work full-time in big tech. I have my dream job at YouTube. I love it there. It's incredible. And I also am a content creator and a founder. So I am the creator of Two Collective, which is where you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, etc., which is a line of luxury bathrobes in addition to a modern wellness company. You can pick up your Too Cozy robe. I mean, how gorgeous does this look and feel at twocollective.com right now. And I'm also a creator. So I create content through the podcast, through YouTube, through TikTok, through Instagram, and that is an entire separate business. So I have basically 3 full-time jobs. I love all of them. And manifestation and vision boards are really a big way that I was able to accomplish having so much in my life happen all at once. So on my vision board from last year, we're going to take a look at it and we're going to see what I accomplished and how the vision board came to be. So my vision board is the background of my computer, and I have a few things on it that I wanted to talk about because sometimes things on your vision board change because the year gets a little crazy, and sometimes things kind of stay the same and don't happen and the goals don't get accomplished and you push them to next year. So one of the things on my vision board was getting promoted. So I had a little box that said exceeding expectations at the level 4 because that's the level that I would be promoted to. And that happened this year. I also have a one with a bank account balance of how much I wanted to make from content creation this year. And I accomplished that. I also have a big picture of a robe because I wanted to launch my own robe line, and that's on there. And I successfully did that. And now we have Too Cozy here that you can pick up if you want it. There's a bunch of other things on here. Sometimes it's just quotes that really did resonate with me that I've started to really embody. So one of those is, if it makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to others. And that's something I was really struggling with at the end of last year, figuring out how I wanted to present myself online, how do I want it to be a content creator, and that has something I'm really embodied now. And then I have pictures of my favorite creators that I wanted to sort of emulate in a way, and that's there. And I'm just really excited because so much happened on here and one of them was also getting an Amex Platinum credit card. So you guys, if you have followed me for a while, you know my story with finances and how I grew up in a really low income family. When I turned 18, someone in my family basically stole my identity and ruined my credit score before I even knew what one was. And so to go from a literally 400 credit score to now having 750 and being able to get the Amex Platinum card was something that was really important to me and demonstrated so much financial growth for me. So that's something that's on there too that I'm really proud of. So I clearly love a vision board. I've been making them for years. I feel like they are a great time to sit and reflect and then to figure out a way to take action for yourself. So here are the 5 steps that you should use when you are creating a vision board. So first, it's time to take an audit of your life, okay? So what do we like about it? What do we not like about it? What are we excited about? What are we not excited about? And a great way to do this is to break it down into categories. I have 5 categories that I would use to decide and figure out where I am in life and if I'm excited about where I'm going. So the first is in relationships. I think this is a big thing that that a lot of people are concerned about, a lot of people want to improve, and it's time to take stock of your relationship. So that could be with family, that could be romantically, that could be with friends. And something for me that I really wanted to figure out last year was, or in 2020, a big thing on my vision board was finding a group of Black girlfriends that I was like really comfortable with and really happy with. So I had like a picture of Black girls who are like all like on vacation together looking really cute. And I put that on my vision board, and that year I was able to find that friend group, and that has been really helpful for me now. So I'm not after like finding that friend group now, but I am really bad at communicating with my family. And so that's something I want to put on my vision board. It's like texting my sisters every week to make sure that they're doing okay and stuff like that. So that's where you're going to ask yourself, what do I like about this category of my life? And what do I not like about it? I love my romantic relationship with my partner. That's in a really great place. But if my family relationship isn't, how am I going to want to improve that? So the categories I would use are relationships, finances, career, mental health, and physical health. So I separate mental and physical health because they're two things that are definitely like people have different goals towards. I mean, everyone knows we're going to the gym, it's January 1st physical health stuff. And I personally feel like I do a great job of taking care of my mental health, but I don't do a great job of taking care of my physical health. So that's why I've separated the two. But what I want you to ask yourself in these categories is, where am I happy in this? Because let's be grateful. Let's be proud of ourselves. Like, we've come far. You figured a few things out this year, I'm sure. Where in those relationships, in that career, in those friendships, are you happy? And where are you lacking a little bit? So now you have a broad overview of your life. And you can also add or subtract categories based on, your experience and what makes you happy too. But those are the 5 I would start with. And I also just want to plug that we have a free downloadable PDF that is going to give you all of these steps on a PDF so that you can take it. And when you're making your vision board on your own, you can refer back to it so that you can create one that's going to really be effective for you. The second step is something called future visioning. So I learned how to do this with, like a coach of mine, Michelle Pelizon from Holisticism. And it's a relatively like universal topic. A lot of people practice it, but it's something that for me really has changed the game and that I've stuck with for a while ever since I did it. Take a second and think about the person that you ideally want to be. So I like to do this because I have so many lives and things that I want to do, so many lives I want to live, I think about the person a year from now. So a year from now, who is Alexis Barber? And you're going to write a bunch of different adjectives that embody who that person is. So for me, it was well-resourced. So someone who has all the resources to do what she wants to do. Someone who has control over her schedule. She is physically fit because she found a workout that she really enjoys and goes to the gym every week and loves it, So all these different adjectives, you're going to write those out. And then you are going to put that into a sentence of an I am statement. I'll just do an example for one of you with like commonly held things. This isn't mine. I don't want to share it because, some things we need to keep to ourselves, but for someone else. So I am a physically fit, enthusiastic, well-dressed PR professional. So think about it that way. So it's an I am statement that you can take with you to ask yourself to emulate those characteristics every single day. So when I'm on my meditation walks and stuff like that, what I will say to myself is my I am statement, and that helps me get into that mindset. So who is she? What is she doing every day? How is she acting? And so what I would do is even take that I am statement of whatever those adjectives are. I would choose 3 to 4 of who you want to maybe describe yourself as, your ideal self, a one-liner, and put those on your vision board so that you can remind yourself that's who you are, because the people that we want to be, the things that we want to accomplish, come to us way more easily than we think when we start to embody those attributes. So for example, a good example with career is if you want to become a manager, for example, and you want to start managing people, how would someone who is managing people in their day-to-day organize their schedule? How would someone who manages people talk to their subordinates or people who are at a lower level than them? How would someone who's managing people talk to the people who are above them, etc.? And how would you want to be known in that? Would maybe a word that you would want to use is empathetic, and you can say, hey, like, I'm an empathetic, like, professional in whatever world you're in, you know? So that's a great place to start. The third step is to identify the gaps between who you are today and that person and that I am statement that you just created. So you've taken stock of your life, you know what you like and what you don't like. So we've identified some gaps there. So in this third step, we can think about what those actions are that are keeping you from being that person. And a lot of times it is just that mindset, like being more confident in yourself, being prouder of yourself, that type of thing. But a lot of times it's action that you need to take on a daily basis. So if you wanted to become an influencer this year, for example, the difference between you now and the girl who's an influencer is that she posts consistently. That's the action between you all. So identify what those actions are, and that's going to be really important for you to actually make it happen in the way that you want to make it happen. Think about those action steps. And what I like to do, and I think what sets my vision board apart from other people's vision boards, is that I like to put photos and visualizations of those actions instead of just the accolades that might come with it. So instead of putting 100,000, Alexis Barber, 100,000 YouTube subscribers on my vision board, which that's there too, I also put a picture of me sitting down and editing, or a girl with her laptop sitting down and editing and writing out the scripts for her videos. For instead of just like the dream body that you want, put somebody in the gym, because that's what it's actually going to feel like. When you're visualizing your future, you can't just visualize winning. You have to start there, but you also have to visualize what a day looks like for someone who is winning, you know, for someone who's getting there. What does that progress look like? And that's really going to help remind you that you're not just changing your life in your mind or on this piece of paper or on this board or on this, you know, background of your screen. You're changing your life in the actions that you take on a day-to-day basis. So the fourth step is to actually start creating that vision board. So you are going to start by finding 5 photos of that ideal person in each of those 5 categories. So by the end of that, you'll probably have 25 photos that you can start with. So for me, in relationships, like let's say that you want to get a significant other this year. You can find a photo that really emulates that. Let's say you want to deepen your relationship with your friends. You can find a photo of girls who are at dinner together. Let's say you want to deepen your relationship with your family. You can find a photo of that, and you'll have 5 photos that really just embody that. And if you don't want to find photos particularly, and that's not really resonating with you, I would also find quotes, and I'd also find like photos of those action steps as well. So I would envision like a text between you and somebody else that's like, hey, do you want to get dinner? And it's like, yes, I'm so excited. Like that's an example of like the life you want to have, you know? So you would have a photo of that as well. And then when it comes to career or more specific things that you're trying to manifest, like I like to think about it with finances. I like to have like a specific number in mind. And what I like to do is I get to that specific number by asking myself, like, what kind of lifestyle do I want? How much does that actually cost? What does that look like? Based on my previous earnings of this past year, what can I realistically do to make more money next year? And then I like to find that specific number and Photoshop it into a picture of my bank account, and then have that sitting there so that I remember, so that I'm really looking at like what I actually want. And once you know exactly what you're going to do with that money, how you're going to manage it, that's a form of manifesting. Because if you can't take care of what you have now, if you can't take care of the things that you're asking for, relationships, finances, career, etc., you're not going to get more of it. So you have to be really clear on what you're going to do when you get those things. And that is a great way to sort of propel yourself into that next version of yourself, that I am statement that we found earlier. So once you have all of those photos figured out, I like to go to Pinterest for this. If you want to stalk my Pinterest, I'll link it down below too, and you can find that and figure out, okay, like here's a good starting point. You can make a Pinterest board, and that could just be your vision board, but it's really important to be able to see your vision board every single day and remind yourself what you're looking for. And that way you can feel a little bit, you know, more connected to it because you're seeing it every day and you're reminding yourself of what your goals are. So I would use Canva for this. So I typically just take screenshots of all of the different pictures that I find either on Pinterest, or if I want a really specific one, then I create it myself in Canva, and you can format it into something that will fit your background. on your computer. I also like to do it for my phone. So if you want to do it in a specific color palette, you could do that. If you want to do it in a specific like format for an iPad or something like that, you can do that too. And all the photos are in one place so that you can just put it all together and make it beautiful. So that is sort of the 5 steps that I would use to start creating a vision board this year. A lot of people just go buy a bunch of magazines and like create something out of that, or they have vision board parties, which is really, really cute and fabulous. But I think the difference between this system and that system is that you're being really intentional about what you really want to create, and the pictures on your vision board aren't just like, oh, I think this is cool. It's like you have an intention behind every photo that's on your vision board with this system, and you've taken stock of what you do and don't like. So you're in a much better place to actually go take that action and figure out what you want than you would be if you were just like finding pretty pictures and putting them together for yourself. So with that all being said, thank you all so much for watching/listening. You can download the How to Create a Vision Board PDF down below if you want to take a look. And I also want to say that this episode of the show is brought to you by the Too Cozy Robe. So I created the Too Cozy Robe over the past year with the help of a very fabulous vision board. And I created it because I find that taking care of yourself is something that's really hard for women, particularly Black women. And robes are the epitome of luxury. They are the epitome of finding time for yourself, because once you're in a robe, you're not going outside. You're here to just like vibe out and be with yourself. And since so many of us struggle with that, I wanted something physical to represent taking care of yourself. And that is what robes do. So it's made of a super soft microfiber plush material that is super durable. So when you wash it, it stays really, really soft and comfortable. And it has adjustable sleeves. As you can see here, if you're watching, you just roll them up and there is a little tab underneath so that when you are washing your face or doing your dishes, they don't get in the way. And of course, the belt is also attached so that you don't lose it every time you wash it. So I absolutely loved creating this product for you all, and it has 20 plus like really amazing customer reviews, and hundreds of people have purchased and loved it. So if you want to pick one up for yourself, definitely make sure to do so. And if you sign up for our email list, which you will if you download the PDF, you can get 15% off your purchase of a Too Cozy Robe. So go check that out. Thank you all so much for watching and listening, and I will be back next week with another solo episode. So I guess I forgot to say this in the beginning. We're going to be doing solo episodes for the whole month of December, all about leveling up for 2023, all about how to, be your best self, some tips to get started, and then we'll get back to guest episodes in January. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. I love you so much, and don't forget, you are too smart to not love yourself.